The Paddock is stunned, a secret test that changed everything. No one in the MotoGP paddock was prepared for what happened behind Yamaha's closed garage doors. While the world was still discussing Ducati's dominance and Aprilia's aerodynamic surge, Yamaha stayed silent, eerily silent, like a factory plotting a quiet revolution. A carbon black prototype, raw and unpainted, appeared in a private test even some internal engineers hadn't been allowed to see. No cameras, no journalists, no official briefing. Only a new engine, a handful of core technicians, and a rider many believed would never fit MotoGP's violent rhythm, Toprak Razgatlıoğlu. Everything shifted when Dovizioso, MotoGP's most objective and drama-proof test rider, released a single sentence: "Yamaha may have found someone or something." He said nothing more, but that was enough. If Dovi was speaking, then something massive was happening inside that dark Yamaha garage. Yamaha's heavy burden, inline 4 becoming relics of the past. For years, Yamaha defended their inline 4 philosophy, the very engine that carried Rossi and Lorenzo through their golden era. But the sport evolved. Ducati pushed the limits with their rocket-like V4. Aprilia perfected aero. KTM stormed in with mechanical aggression. And Yamaha? They fell behind. Senior Japanese engineers insisted the inline 4 could still be revived with improved aero and electronics. Younger European engineers countered that MotoGP had shifted, and the future was built on V4 architecture. Beneath the quiet surface, Yamaha bore a burden fans never saw. They knew inline 4 had reached its ceiling. Quietly and radically, they started from zero, a brand new V4. But this choice carried a terrifying possibility. If the V4 failed, Yamaha's reputation could collapse for years. Rumors spread: unstable bike, struggling rider, project failing. When whispers of a secret Yamaha project escaped into the paddock, the rumors multiplied instantly. Some said Toprak was struggling to handle MotoGP's engine braking demands. Others claimed the bike launched like a missile but refused to stop. There were even leaks suggesting Yamaha's test riders couldn't tame its violent character. None of these rumors had evidence. They existed for one simple reason: Yamaha was too quiet. No spy photos, no leaks, no noises. And in MotoGP, silence from Yamaha often means something enormous is happening behind the scenes. This time, the silence was the biggest clue, one that would soon be proven true.
Dovizioso speaks. Toprak's adaptation makes no sense. Dovizioso is a rider who does not exaggerate, dramatize, or seek headlines. When he speaks, engineers listen. So when he stated in Valencia that Toprak was adapting to the V4 faster than anything he had seen in years, the paddock froze. Dovi explained that MotoGP V4 engine braking, Michelin front tire load sensitivity, and corner entry rhythm usually take riders weeks, sometimes months to master. But Toprak? Within days, he was braking like a MotoGP veteran. Dovi even smiled, rare for him, when he added, "Not many riders can brake like that on a bike that isn't even fully developed yet." And that was only the beginning of what he saw. Inconsistencies appear, but the potential looks dangerous. Not everything was smooth. Yamaha knew their new V4 was like a young lion, powerful, unpredictable, and far from tamed. Acceleration was inconsistent. Electronics couldn't fully keep up with Toprak's aggressive inputs. High-speed stability wavered. Yet beneath all the chaos, Dovi saw a spark. He paused before saying a sentence that instantly shook the paddock. The potential is big. If Yamaha follows Toprak's feedback, this bike can become very dangerous. The word dangerous carries weight when it comes from Dovizioso. It means he saw not just speed, but the foundation of a future championship threat. Suddenly, every engineer in the paddock wanted to know what Yamaha had created. A split inside the garage, old engineers versus new engineers. Ironically, early success ignited tension inside Yamaha. Senior Japanese engineers feared the bike was becoming too similar to Toprak's aggressive riding style. They wanted a neutral motorcycle, predictable, safe, adaptable to any rider. But the new generation of European engineers believed the opposite. They argued Toprak was the blueprint for the MotoGP rider of the future: extreme braking, fearless lean angle, controlled chaos. The two groups clashed in meeting rooms. One side said Toprak was too extreme. The other said MotoGP itself had become extreme. Meanwhile, Toprak had no idea that his riding style was shaping Yamaha's political battlefield. He simply kept riding, analyzing, and pushing. Day 2 in Valencia. Data spikes that shouldn't exist. On the second day of the Valencia test, something strange happened. Yamaha mechanics began exchanging uneasy glances. Telemetry data showed numbers that shouldn't appear for another 6 months of development. Braking distance shrinking, corner speed rising, V4 stability improving during slides that Yamaha's aero team swore the bike wasn't ready for. Then, the moment that shocked everyone. Toprak executed a long, controlled slide into a fast corner, something technicians believed the prototype would fail. But it didn't. The bike held, smooth, balanced, controlled. That was when Yamaha realized Toprak wasn't merely adapting to the V4, he was teaching it how to behave. The secret extended test, a full race simulation that changes everything. After the official test ended and other teams began packing up, Yamaha stayed. No cameras, no outsiders. Just Toprak and the core engineers, not for laps, but for a full race simulation. They tested a revised combustion system, a new gearbox that reduced wheel lift, aggressive aero packages for braking stability, and updated electronics tuned specifically to Toprak's harsh corner entries. The results stunned Yamaha. Toprak's long run wasn't just fast, it was stable. Acceleration smoothed out, high gear output balanced, cornering confidence increased. For the first time, the V4 behaved like a true MotoGP engine. One engineer whispered what everyone was afraid to say. This isn't a project anymore. This is Yamaha's future. The internal war peaks. Will Yamaha bet everything on one rider? But the rapid progress created a new problem. Senior engineers insisted Yamaha couldn't risk building a bike around one rider's extreme style. They wanted something safer, more universal. Meanwhile, European engineers argued MotoGP's modern era demands aggression, risk, and precision under chaos, exactly what Toprak represents. Meeting rooms heated up, budgets were questioned, development philosophy was challenged. If the V4 failed, Yamaha would suffer long-term. If it succeeded, Yamaha could rise again. Everything now hinged on one question. Would Yamaha dare build a MotoGP weapon specifically for a rider who hadn't even raced a single MotoGP Grand Prix? The final blast. Dovi speaks again, the Paddock reacts, a new era begins. As Yamaha's internal clash raged on, Dovizioso dropped the sentence that ignited the paddock like wildfire. If Yamaha follows Toprak's direction, they will have a very dangerous package next year. Within minutes, Ducati engineers were studying long-lens photographs of Yamaha's new aero. Aprilia staff murmured that Yamaha's V4 concept looked promising. KTM analysts added Toprak's name into their technical debrief discussions. Overnight, the narrative shifted. Toprak was no longer a mere rookie testing a prototype. He had become the gravitational center of MotoGP's future speculation. And when Toprak heard Dovi's comment, he didn't celebrate. He simply gave a small, sharp smile, the kind that hinted he knew the project had only just begun. The V4 wasn't finished, not even close, and the 2026 season might be the year a new Yamaha era rising from a carbon black prototype that wasn't even meant to be shown to the world.